Hello, this is Joe from Ohio Tool Description, and today I'll be talking about screwdrivers. Screwdrivers come in many forms and different shapes. They're long, small, short, sometimes used as a pry bar, sometimes used to poke holes in things. Screwdrivers have many uses, and sometimes you shouldn't use a screwdriver for that. The first screwdriver I'll talk about are slotted screwdrivers. This is a slotted screwdriver. I'm going to bring them out, show you what the different sizes I have. The first one is a slotted, as it is. It's just like it's a slot. It's like a knife edge. And how that works is when you come across screws in your older homes and older businesses, you'll notice that there's just a slot. So how that works is you take your screwdriver, place it into the slot, and start turning. However, from my experience, when you come across these old screws don't necessarily want to come out. They use them in wood and different things. However, because it's a slot like that, there's a chance you might slip out. So these are slotted screwdrivers. In today's world, slotted screws are becoming a rarity. Thank you. This screw right here is from an anchor that you use at a wall. And as you see, I have a couple of them. In fact, I have less slotted screwdrivers than I do the next one. And just because they're not really used anymore. We have a large one. We have a small one. This is probably a number 1, and this is a number 3. And this is probably a number 3 as well. And they say the numbers are determined by the width of the blade. And this is a little stubby one for this close-in usage. And you have a longer ones for different. So, all right. The next screwdriver is a Phillips screwdriver. Now I have more of these. And I'm going to bring them in here. Now these screwdrivers right here are Craftsman. I bought this set long time ago. That's why there's no case for them anymore. And as you see, I have different size screwdrivers. We got a really long one, shorter, and we have a stubby one. I believe these right here are number 1s. This is a number 2, and this is a number 3. And that's based on the tip size. Now, how these work is you come across a screw that has this cut mark in it, or the plus sign, and what that does is allows the screwdriver to go in, and now you have 4 blades instead of just the 2. You have 4 points of contact, wherein is the straight screwdriver you have 2 points of contact. See, once it goes in there like that, you can see how by twisting it, you're actually touching 2 points right there and right there. With a straight bladed screwdriver. Now with a Phillips screwdriver, you have 4 points of contact. You got 1, 2, 3, 4. And you get a little bit more torque, but it's also designed to get, this type of bit is also designed to slip out when you come up to a certain amount of torque in it, then it'll slip out. All right. My next set of screwdrivers are these, I believe they call them jeweler screws, using for taking out really small screws. Now this set that I have here, they're quite used. Some of them are broken. As you see, they have flat, they're bladed. This one has a blade. This one has a blade. This one's a Phillips. This one's also a Phillips. This one's bladed, as you can see. I think I've broken that bit. And this one is bladed too, and it looks like I've broken that as well. And this one definitely I've broken. But these are what they call jeweler. And you use these to remove screws in your glasses, your electrical toys and stuff like that. Little tiny screws. All right. Let's get these out of the way. My next screwdriver, made by Kline tool, is a 10-bit screwdriver, or 10-bit screwdriver. So it's a 10-in-1. And what we have is, we take this apart. Here's the handle. And if you look at this, it just looks like a tube with your bits in it. Well, within that tube of the handle of the screwdriver, you have your tube, then you have your individual bits. Now, each one of these components actually is designed to unscrew regular screws, your slide screws, your Phillips screws, Phillips. And this is for a square bit, and most of the square bits you'll find on your electrical components, like your wall receptacles, lights, and stuff like that. Then you have this Tork one, and what it is, it has six flares, or 6 blades, which is kind of like this one where the Phillips has 4. This has 6. All right, I'll show you a better view of it here in a minute. But with this Kline tool, this 10-in-1, each end has a different size nut driver. Now, nut drivers are like bolts, but they're bolt heads with screws. Then you get different size here. You also have this, which is used to remove nut drivers as well, just different sizes. So that is a Kline 10-in-1. I'm going to go ahead and put this back together so I don't lose these little bits. As you see, I forgot to put one in, and now I'm going to have to take a pair of pliers and pull it apart to get it. For right now, we'll just put that bit in there, and I will work on that in a minute. That's one of the downfalls of these 10-in-1s and the 11-in-1s and whatever else like that. You can easily lose bits. You know, if they stick in the receptacle or stick in something, they stick in and you pull it off and they pull out. And I've lost many of these over the years. So that's one of the downfalls of having a multi-bit tool like this one. Now another one, or my last one here, will be a Torx bit. And as you see here, it goes similar to what we had in the screwdriver, but this has many, many blades. And this screw right here is from I believe it's a deck screw used outside. And because of the way this is set up, these multi-blades actually fit there really tight. So you get really, really good contact, and you can put a lot of torque on it. So here's a bit of a nut driver. And this is a Craftsman, from my Craftsman tool set. And Like I said, this is a Torx bit, and it's usually made for bolts that you want to put a high torque on, or like outside, something of that nature. Now, like most people, I also have this. This is a rigid nut driver, and we have another Tork bit in it. And like I said, I had to fix my deck the other day, so I use this to torque the screws into the wood, and that will fit perfectly. And like I said, the Tork bits, you can put a lot of torque on it and they won't slip, unlike the Phillips or the bladed type. Well, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to leave them in below. Give me a thumbs up and a like, and we'll talk about more tools coming up in the following weeks. Have a great day.